Welcome to Corkine Today for March 9th, 2020. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below. There you'll find a link to each story I talk about in the order I talk about them, so you can read about them for yourself, come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. Now, if you're new here, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Well, it's been a busy weekend. It's going to be a busy week of cord cutting news, so hang in here with me as we break down everything happening in the world of cord cutting right now. Starting off with Cox is going to be turning your home internet into a Wi-Fi hotspot. So Cox has started to contact Cox Internet customers who use a Cox modem and Wi-Fi router to notify them that later this month they'll be turning that into a public hotspot. Spectrum and others do this, where other Spectrum, or in this case Cox Internet customers, could log in through another Wi-Fi network it will create and then stream the Wi-Fi internet through your Wi-Fi. Now the problem here is, especially if you have a slow internet, is they're eating bandwidth, right? Let's say you live in an apartment complex, friends are coming to visit their friends, they log into your Wi-Fi because they're also a Cox Internet customer, they use their username and password, and now they're using your Wi-Fi. Well, maybe they're streaming Netflix and all kinds of other stuff, and they're slowing down your internet. The good news is you will be able to turn this off, and you are able to turn this off on most companies. You can also buy your own modem, own Wi-Fi router to prevent that from being a reality. But I would always encourage you to consider that, especially, my recommendation has always been, you don't need crazy fast internet, right? You don't need a terabyte or a gigabyte, a gigabyte internet connection to stream Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. The problem though is if you got I recommend at least 25 down, that's enough for 4 HD Netflix streams. For most people, streaming 4 different HD Netflix streams is more than enough. But if you're streaming, let's say 4, and then 2 other people are connected to your Wi-Fi network and they're trying to stream Netflix, now you're noticing an internet speed issue. So my recommendation is to go disable this. It's maybe also a security issue. I'm sure Cox and others have done a lot of work to lock this down, but I'm always uncomfortable with the idea of other people on my Wi-Fi network, especially people I don't know. So keep that in mind. And it's also an internet speed issue. We want to make sure that they're not draining a bunch of speed when you want to use it. So check that out. Check the link in the post down below to learn more. Cox says they'll be coming out with details on how to disable that very soon, but it's not quite live yet. So good news there. Well, over the week, Roku has been cracking down on pirates that are hackers that are targeting Roku owners, trying to convince them to pay absorbent amount of money to activate their Roku. The scam always worked this way. You'd buy a Roku, you'd see that screen that says go to roku.com/whatever to link your Roku to your account. And you need to do that so that you can manage all your apps and do other things. With that, it's actually really helpful because if you have multiple Rokus, you add one app, it appears on all your Rokus, for example. Well, hackers had been targeting Roku owners and tricking them into paying. What would happen is people would Google Roku activation instead of just typing in that full link they see on their TV screen, or they mistype the link, and then they end up on a website that's not owned by Roku, which pretends sometimes, and there are legitimate services that will help you set up your Roku. That's legitimate. There's IT people who come to your home and do all that kind of stuff. To me, the scams come when they pretend to be Roku for one, and then they try to convince you that the only way to activate your Roku is to pay them. Sometimes over $100. Sometimes they try to get you signed up for yearly memberships to use your Roku. You don't need to do that. And that's where I believe the scam is. It's because they're misleading you into believing that they are someone they're not, or they're telling you this is the only way to do it. Well, Roku has done quite a few things to try to counter this over the years. They've even put a big warning on the screen saying, we do not charge to activate your Roku, something along that line. But it still we were getting a lot of emails from people saying hackers or people were upset that, hey, I bought this Roku for $30, but now I got to pay another $100 to activate it. Well, the good news here is Roku has gone and done away with that link system, done away with the code, used to display a code, And now it just asks you to enter your email address. When you enter that email address, Roku will email you a link to sign in. You click on that link, it automatically links your account. If you've never had an account before, you can enter like your information. That way you have an account and you're ready to go. The great thing here is it pretty much makes it impossible for the scammers to continue that scam because it required them to have code. What they would do is they would just ask you for the code on your TV screen. They would enter the code for you and set you up that way, which is kind of ridiculous. The simple idea, but with this new system, only you with access to your email account, and don't give other people access to your email account, have access to it. So 2 thumbs up, Roku. Really excited to see you cracking down on these scams. It's really, really important that as cord cutting grows, we pay more attention to this stuff. It's kind of like all those things. You probably see those Bank of America emails. Your Bank of America account has been compromised. Please click here to update your information or something along those lines. I don't have a Bank of America account, but I get those emails. Just because Bank of America is so big, the likelihood of somebody actually having that is fairly high. So they target those Bank of America customers because they know more likely than not there will be somebody who has it. As cord cutting grows, they're targeting streaming services. Disney Plus has had a lot of this, Roku, Netflix, Amazon, and more. And what we're seeing is an increasingly large number of people falling victim to them because they're not thinking about the security with these. So keep that in mind. It's great to see Roku taking the lead here to say, hey, we're just going to change the way this whole process works to make it basically impossible for this particular scam to continue. So good job, Roku. We really appreciate it. All right. Last week, AT&T TV. Oh, real quick, let me know, have you ever fallen into that particular scam? Have you known anyone who's ever fallen into that scam? We've gotten a lot of emails in the last few years about that. So keep that in mind. All right, AT&T now has 5 different TV services. Yes, 5. If you count HBO Max, which is coming out in a couple months, it's going to be 6 different TV services, both streaming and traditional TV. And that's mind-boggling to me, to be honest with you. I don't understand their current philosophy, though I've written about reports that they intend to shut down some of these, from my understanding, watch TVs on the chop block. I would not be surprised to see AT&T TV Now merge into HBO Max. We've talked about that at great length. But a lot of people have been asking, okay, you got AT&T TV, you got DirecTV, you got Uverse, you got this, you got that. How does this all come together? Well, don't worry, Jess has you covered. Jess sat down and broke out the 5 different TV services AT&T currently has and give you the details on what you need to know. Now, this is probably going to change. They say in 2021, HBO Max will add live TV. At that point, I would fully expect that some of these, probably like AT&T TV or definitely AT&T Watch TV, would fold into HBO Max, to be honest with you. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. How does this play out? Where does this all go? And more. But I'd love to know, what do you think of the 5 different AT&T services for TV? Which ones do you like? Which ones don't you like? Leave me a little bit of feedback there. I'd love to hear from you. Speaking of AT&T TV services, AT&T TV Now added a bunch of locals. So it seems the launch of AT&T TV is benefiting AT&T TV Now, 2 separate services that both use the same app and the same backend. And that backend part is what's important here, because with the launch of AT&T TV, they brought some additional locals on board that weren't there before. So a handful of locals, some of the last few remaining locals on AT&T TV Now have gone live. So check that out. Link in the show notes if you want to learn more. But did you notice any new locals? Anybody here still using AT&T TV Now? I'm very interested. They've been losing subscribers en masse. I'm interested to see how that plays out over the next few years. They're hoping to, a year from now, HBO Max will add live TV. What will be around a year from now? We'll have to look into that. All right, Plex has been well known for being a great media software. I talked a little bit about this over the weekend, but I know most people don't watch the Saturday one, so let's dive into this real quick. Plex is a media server that allows you to manage your media, stream a bunch of legitimate movies and television shows. Plex recently has started coming under fire for the fact that they allow you to share your media with other people. And the problem there is that the content companies are saying that's encouraging piracy. I really want to know what you think. Is that just a cool feature? I created a Plex server for my family and actually digitalized all of our old home videos. And I took those old home videos, put them on Plex so that my family members can watch the videos from the 80s, 90s, and more. Well, the old VHS tapes that I converted into digital files. So to me, that was a really cool feature to legitimately reach family. But I understand that a lot of people believe that that is piracy when you start doing it to share copyright movies. But it's interesting to see how much attention Plex gets. Plex has really worked hard to distance themselves from piracy. They removed some features that were being used for piracy and made other changes to really change their model here. So let me know what you think. And lastly, there's a new free news service called Newsnet. It's been around for a while. It started up in Michigan, where I am right now, and it's expanded, and now they're adding Miami. So there's an over-the-air TV station that's going to Miami. It's going to be a Newsnet affiliate, and it's going to stream online for free. The reason I wanted to bring that up is Newsnet, CNBC, NBC, and more. News is becoming increasingly free and ad-supported online. It used to be if you wanted news, you had to go get a live service to get your Fox, CNN, MSNBC, etc. Now, increasingly, some really great high-quality news organizations are putting their content online for free. I expect this to continue, which removes one of the main reasons to have cable. It used to be, news and sports, news and sports. Sports is becoming more cord-cutting friendly. We see the PGA striking a deal with ESPN Plus. We see news becoming more cord-cutting friendly by being 100% free. I fully predict that soon, the majority of news coverage will be free, ad-supported, much like Cord Cutters News. We're an ad-supported organization here. So I hope that continues. I think that's going to be beneficial to cord cutters, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll really appreciate it. But that's it for today. Don't forget a few things. First of all, Jess is going to be here a couple days. I got to travel back home. So Jess will cover a few days of the Cord Cutting today. Please give her your full support. I really do appreciate it. Makes my life so much easier when Jess is able to cover a couple days. So when I'm flying, I don't have to worry about Jess, or we don't have to worry about trying to record one at like 3 o'clock in the morning so I have it live so when I get on the plane I can post it, for example. So special thanks to Jess being here to help out with that stuff, and I appreciate everybody's great support of that. I ask you to continue to support that. Also, if you have any news stories you want to share, if you find any deals, news, tips, tricks, whatever it may be, go to cordcuttersnews.com, cordcuttersnews.com, link in the show notes. Click on the Contact Us button. Send us a detailed email, as detailed as you can. Include a link if you found it online, because that helps us out a lot. Explain exactly what you found. For instance, if you notice a new local on a YouTube TV, instead of just saying YouTube TV added more locals, say, hey, I'm in Indianapolis. I saw this particular channel be added to YouTube TV. That helps Jess and I quickly track this all down and add more details about it. So check that out. Link in the show notes down below to cordcuttersnews.com. Send us tips, because your tips often turn into stories I cover right here and cover at cordcuttersnews.com. So I hope you all have a fantastic Monday. It's the start of a great week. Hope the weather's nice wherever you are. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care, everybody. I really appreciate your support.